Hi there, welcome to our little Catalina 28. We've had it for about a year and a half now, and since we bought it we've been having a bit of noise coming from the drive line, so I'm just going to try and figure out what's happening. So it's gotten progressively worse over the year, and we're just going to try and suss it out. We're getting a lot of rattling coming down from below. A lot of clatter. So here we are down below. We're going to just have a little peek here. Great thing about the Catalina 28, it's got great engine access. You can see things moving here. So I've got a bit of play in the, I'm in reverse right now, and got a fair amount of play before the, I can feel the clutch slip in reverse, and then back to engagement of the gear. So I'm doubting if the transmission has that much play in it. It's got to be play from somewhere else, and I'm thinking it's a damper plate, which is a fairly common problem with these boats. Here we have the transmission, output shaft, shaft coupler, and PSS seal. I'm going to want to move this whole engine forward, so I'll have to secure the PSS back against its block so that it doesn't start spewing water everywhere, and I'm going to do that with tie it back with something. My plan is to try and loosen off as much, undo all what I can and loosen off as much as I can, slide the engine forward, tip it up a bit, and pull the transmission out. So before I start doing anything, I've marked my coupler here. I put a couple of punched a couple of dents in it to mark the location of it, so it goes back the same way as it was before. It was quite well aligned, so hopefully when I get everything back together I won't have to line it too much. The other thing I've done is taken pictures of all the zap straps that I have to cut off and try and get them back in the same spot. Like I said, the plan was to slide the motor forward, undo these bolts, slide the motor forward. If I can get it forward enough to pull the transmission out, that'll be great. If not, I'll have to tip the back up and above the shaft and pull it out that way. I've loosened off the clamps holding the hot water hoses in place for the water heater, and it should have a fair amount of slack. I can give it a bit of a tug that way, so I can get a bit there. Okay, I've got all the transmission bolts out except for two top ones holding it in there. I've got the coupling undone and secured back against the PSS seal, so it's not going to pop forward on me. And I've slackened all the hoses off, so I should be ready to go. I might drain the water and take this hose out because I think it's a bit it's going to be a bit tight. Anyway, I think we will have to lift the transmission up above the coupling to pull it out far enough to get it off the spline. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. It's really not a whole lot of time doing this. I've got all the cables undone and everything now. Okay, the transmission is out, and it came out relatively easily. There's the damper plate there, and the coupling. Here's the transmission here, and I've given it a good wiggle around, and it's seeming pretty tight and free moving and no issues at all. So I'm suspecting it's this damper plate. Find out when I get it off. For those who are interested in what it looks like, there it is right there. So how did I get the transmission out? Well, I just undid the 8 bolts holding the mounts on. Slackened off everything I could slacken off. I didn't have to disconnect any water whatsoever, or any plumbing, any fuel or anything, which made it a lot smoother, and it'll make it easier going back in. I did rig up a very minor tackle to take a bit of the weight off the engine, and just pulled it forward, and there it is. So might be a little more difficult to get back in, but we'll find out. Well, there's the damper plate out, and it is in perfect condition. So that worry's gone. This is the portion that faces the transmission. The transmission shaft goes in there. This back part goes onto the engine. There's the product there. So I got the transmission out. It's on the workbench. Have a better look at it in better light. I didn't think there was anything wrong with the damper plate, and there really isn't anything wrong with the damper part of it. But what is happening is that there's a lot of play in the damper. Bit of it there. Still a bit too much play. So when I take the damper out, you won't be able to see it here, but the teeth are very, very minutely worn, but enough to give it a bit of play. So hopefully that's where my chatter is coming from. I've got another damper plate coming down tomorrow, so I'll put that on and see if it's a tighter fit, and well, hopefully it is, and that'll fix the problem. Okay, we've got the new damper, and much tighter, a lot less play. Hopefully that's the problem. Back to the boat. So we've got the new damper plate in, and the racket has gone away. Just a little bit of transmission racket, but all normal, all good. So a success on the damper plate.